Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about 3 patterns that you have that have caused you to be in bad relationships. One of the first patterns is going to be wanting a relationship so badly. When you want to get married, when you want to have kids, when you want to be with someone, maybe you've been single for a long time, maybe you've never really had the type of relationship that you're really searching for, but when you want it so badly, that means you're always going to make decisions coming from an emotional state versus a healthy, logical state. When you are not healed and healthy and whole, that means that you're coming into a relationship with baggage that you're bringing from your past. That means that you're entering into this relationship with holes already inside of you that you've never actually dealt with, healed, and worked on. So that means that, again, you're coming from an emotional state of wanting this. Because if I need this relationship, if I want this relationship so badly, that means that there are things that I'm not giving myself. That means that you never filled those holes. It means that you look to others to be your sense of love, validation. You need someone to motivate you. You need to feel like you're complete, that you're in a relationship, that you have this stigma about being single and what that actually means. It means that you have all these stories that say, okay, I'm of this certain age, or, oh, I've never had this before because I come from abandonment, I have these trust issues. And so I want to feel that dynamic with someone so badly. And it's totally fine to want to be in a relationship, but needing to be in a relationship where you need it badly or you want something so badly means you're always going to come from that emotional space, again, versus that logical space. Relationships are emotional, but they should be based on a logical decision of you deciding to love someone. When you want something so badly and you're unhealed, that means that you're living your life through your wound, through your childlike state where you're still looking for mommy or daddy to validate you, to love you, because you never actually got the things that you needed. The next pattern that you're going to have is going to be fear. Now, fear lives in everyone. When it comes to entering into bad relationships or even entertaining bad relationships, fear is always going to be at the forefront because fear is all about, I don't know when I'm going to feel this again or experience this again or have this again. So if the underlying message that you have is, I don't know when I'm going to meet another person again, you're going to entertain something way longer than you should. This is when all those stories come up of, what if I never meet this person? What if it doesn't happen for me? And all of those stories don't breed a healthy mindset. It doesn't breed a person that's whole, that's healthy, that knows what they want, that comes from abundance. You come from more fear than you do an abundant state. That mindset will also keep you stuck in that needing that relationship. So that anxiety story will kind of keep you like swirling around in this narrative that makes you feel incomplete unless you're in a relationship. So when we come from a lot of fear of not living in abundance, of not knowing really what we want, quite frankly, and knowing that it exists, and we're coming from all of that, kind of all of those stories that want to keep us stuck in this unhealthy mindset, one thing is always going to happen. It is inevitable. And so this is actually the truth. When you come from fear, you're always going to settle. So there's only 2 things that can happen. When you set a goal for yourself to wanting to be in a relationship and you really know what that relationship should look like, this is the ideal of what it is that I really want for myself because I deserve it, right? So now we're working on our standards and making sure that they're super high. We're also working on making sure that we know ourselves and we know the type of person that's actually right for us. How do we want to be loved? Then we go out into the world and we meet people and we see how do they love. We don't try to change them. We see what they can offer us, and then we decide whether or not we want to actually engage in the relationship with them. When that fear story takes over, though, what's going to happen is that when you see something, when you see a person and you see 40% of what you want, 60% of what you want, and the rest are just red flag after red flag, you're always going to overlook those flags because of that fear, because of those stories that say, what if I never meet this person? I have such a great chemistry with this person, great connection with this person, and all those things are wonderful, but that still doesn't mean that this person's actually right for you. So what you're doing is you're coming from 1 or 2 boxes that are being checked where really the core of what you're looking for is not there. And either you don't know that or you haven't even acknowledged it yet. So if I come from fear and not abundance, then I'm going to take whatever comes my way and I'm going to try to conform it into what I want it to be, even though you're never going to be happy with it and you're always going to struggle in that relationship because you settled rather than waiting. When you wait and you are patient and you work on yourself, then you will always end up attracting the relationship that you really want to have. But you have to have those three things. You have to be patient, you have to know what you want, and you have to know that it exists. And you have to know that you're going to get it. That's a mindset that you build within yourself in order to be super confident, to be able to not take just whatever comes your way, to know that I'm not settling on this because I know exactly what I want, I know it exists, and I deserve it. That's a mindset that you have to constantly be working because life is going to hand you the bare minimum. And it's your job through free will to decide, do I want to take that or do I want to wait? The last pattern that you have or mindset that you have that's really hurting you and it's causing you to really stay stuck in really bad relationships is going to be that lack mentality. The lack mentality means I'm not good enough. The lack mentality means I don't know what I want. The lack mentality means I don't really have high standards and I'm accepting the bare minimum. That's that low self-esteem, that low confidence that you'll have in yourself to be able to say, this is what I want, I know it exists, and I'm going to get it. That mindset comes, or not having that mindset, comes from that lack within yourself that you're good enough to actually have that relationship that you really do want, that you really do deserve. This is when you're so focused on being the perfect partner that you overlook what's actually in front of you, and that your only job is to see what's in front of you and decide if you want to actually be in a relationship with this person. For you to look at this person and be honest with yourself, is this actually the relationship that I really do want? When you're so hyper-focused on being the fixer, being the perfect partner for someone else, that you overlook completely who you are and what it is that you want, and are you actually happy in this relationship, then you're coming from that lack. When you come from that space of trying to always be the perfect person, you have now made this person more important in the relationship than you. You have now given this person more power over yourself to make decisions on whether or not you should be in a relationship with this person. When you give that person that type of power to say, do you want to be with me? Am I good enough for you? Versus saying, wait a minute, this is my job interview. I'm actually looking to make sure I want to be with you. Are you right for me? Are you what I'm looking for? That's the mentality that I want you to have. So if you want the relationship, it sounds corny, but you have to actually become the healthy person in order for you to attract a healthy person. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it has given you some motivation or insights on the types of mindsets that perhaps you struggle with, that you can start to kind of work on within yourself through either coaching or videos or podcasts or whatever it is that you're doing on yourself to really, really heal from those past programs and really rise up, because the goal of this is to have better next time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next week, guys. Enjoy your week.